So today we are looking at Dorothea Tanning's work entitled Some Roses and Their Phantoms. So a little bit about Dorothea. She was born in the United States, and she is more well known for her work from the Surrealist period. However, she is pretty overshadowed by her husband, Max Ernst, who we know quite well in art history. He has created work from the periods of Dada, Surrealism, and Modernism. A little bit about Dorothea's early life. She was very influenced by Gothic literature that she would read as a child, which can be seen in this work here. You see it in the muted scenes and the overall Gothic and more phantom approaches in the work itself.
In this painting, you have very monochromatic and muted colors. This helps enhance the mysterious and haunted atmosphere. There's also a great detail in the texture and play in light and shadow, which helps add depth to the painting. If you look at the tablecloth, it shows the reality of this painting, but if you look at the flowers and the phantom part of the roses, it's very fantastical.
If we look at the composition of the work, overall, it draws your eye from here and there. We look particularly at the large rose on the left side, and you either can move to the phantoms of roses in the background beyond the table, or to the other roses that litter the table. There's one in the bottom right corner that you'll notice that's mocking and simulating the color of the tablecloth, and it's a little bit more hidden. As you slowly move from the painting, you realize all these little things and how it affects the composition. The composition isn't too far off from some artworks and still lifes of the past that we'll be looking at later. The roses in particular in the name and their phantoms draws on ideas of passion and love, but it's twisted by this surrealist idea of thinking back to it and how our perceptions of the world and ourselves can change, and how these roses are wilted as if representing this disdain for this domestic passion that they once may have had or that they never had to begin with.
We can see some influence in Tanning's composition from Cotin's cabbage, melon, and cucumber painting. There's an eerie feeling from the lighting and coloring Cotin uses, which Tanning has implemented. We can also see that she's been influenced by Cézanne, specifically his Basket of Apples painting. We are looking above the table at a still life similar to Cézanne's paintings, and she's also using the table to cut the scene in half.
All in all, Tanning's piece, Some Roses and Their Phantoms, is a marvelous surrealist painting that came almost 10 to 20 years after the end of the surrealist movement. It's really awe-inspiring, the influence we see of previous surrealist art, her husband Max Ernst, Cotin, Cézanne, all these other artists before. It's also important to note her influence from contemporaries at the time, and her visits to the exhibitions at the Museum of Modern Art in New York, and how those influenced this amazing piece of art.